And what a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome along to round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup. Great to have your company this afternoon on thedailytelegraph.com.au. The two biggest NRL nurseries about to go head-to-head. Our referee this afternoon is Matthew Galvin, and Endeavour Sports High are out on the field. We'll go through their side. At fullback is Chevy Stewart, Bento and Ballas on the wings. The 3 and the 4 is Hodges and Langer. The 6 and 7, Anoka and Perryman. And the forward pack of Clements, Captain in Fraser, Hickiller, Afu, Beckett, Trail and Bronson Emery. And of course they're coached by Dave Hallett. Let's quickly go through Westfields. At the back is Lalili, Aldemine on the wings, Craig also, Wacker and Mapasua. The 6 and 7 is Talangi and Galvin. Lalili in 8, De Silva, Tuavati, Finau, Sakuru and Lita Garner. So all is in readiness. This is round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup. Peter Jolly with you in the commentary box. Sit back and enjoy the next hour or so of NRL schoolboy football. As I mentioned, the best 2 NRL nurseries going head-to-head this afternoon in round 3 of the competition. As we head into semi-final football in the weeks ahead. As we see now, Westfield looking to go to the edge. They were looking around, weren't they? They were able to find Sakuru, but unfortunately he's put it down, the 17-year-old, as he was looking to link up there with Almonen. Couldn't quite get the pass away. So what a chance now for Endeavour. This is Perryman about to put the ball into the scrum. And Matthew Galvin just telling Finn Perryman, who steers the troops around the park, to have one last crack. So here's Stewart now. The 17-year-old, he's been picked at fullback for the Australian Schoolboys. We wish him well. Of course, he played in the Harold Matthews Grand Final. As I mentioned, only 17 years of age. He's a great finisher. Loves to make easy meters from the back. Here's Beckett now, taken down inside the 20. So a great chance now for Endeavour Sports High to register first points on the dailytelegraph.com.au scoreboard. Here's Stewart with a penalty. Penalty here from Matthew Galvin. Not back on their own goal line. On this occasion, Westfields. So they'll take the tap and keep the pressure coming. Hickiller now rumbles onto the football. So back away now to Fraser. He's dynamic in a dummy half. Finds Perryman. Here's Stewart running across field, looking around for support. Great tackle there by Mapasoa. Back away from Perryman. Give it back there to Beckett. Steers the troops well. Very explosive power off the mark, just like their captain here in Fraser. Very creative. Very dangerous around the ruck, very sharp. Back again to Stewart, and he's pushed back into the field of play. So last tackle now for Endeavour. What's their last play option? Perryman puts it into the in-goal area. It's come off of Westfield's foot, and now they've turned defence into attack, and they've come away with the football here about 20 metres out from their own line. So they've done exceptionally well there, Westfields, to deny Endeavour Sports High any opportunity. As I say, defence not just wins your games, but goes a long way to securing a semi-final spot and, of course, the premiership. So they're back up to the halfway line now. Look for the kick. Talangi puts in the kick straight down the gauntlet. So here's Stewart again. He's been in incredible form, hasn't he? He loves playing in that loose field when there's not so much structure. He's had an incredible run of form. The Harold Matts grand finalist, 17 years of age, and he's off to represent the Australian Schoolboys later in the year. What a year it's been for Stewart. What a year it will continue to be. Just loves to make easy meters from the back, doesn't he? Look out for him today. As we see now, Hickiller. He turns it over. It's going to be play on here. And here's Talangi. So a chance now for Westfields. They're on the attack. It comes back there now to Tuivati. He offloads the football. Back to Galvin. He keeps it going. Mapasua. He's tackled about a metre away, but he's still going, and he's going to get there in the end. Well, there you go. They fell off him. And there's the try to Roy Mapasua. Incredible stuff. They fell off him, and his powerful big body frame was able to do the rest. As I mentioned, he's very powerful, isn't he? With a great carry, and he has been able to open the account here for Westfields after 4 minutes in this clash. And here's the opportunity now for Mohammed Alamuddin to convert the try from right out on the touchline. As you can see from our pitches, about 3 or 4 metres in from the western side of the field. Of course, we're out here at the ever superb Aubrey Quiche Reserve here in Hitchinbrook, here in Western Sydney. A beautiful day for rugby league, sitting on 17 degrees. Not much wind to speak about. So Alamuddin from the touchline. What a bird's eye view of this one. Right boot striker of the footy. He'll be looking to bring it back around. Speaking of bringing it back around, it's on song. It's an absolute ripper. What a kick. What a try for Westfields. After 4 minutes on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard, they lead by 6 points to 0. And Alamuddin, he's brought his kicking boots this afternoon. And that was pretty much their first real attacking chance. With the footy in hand, they've been well on the defence since the get-go. So Endeavour get us back underway. Now that's come off the boots of Westfield. Going very close to going into touch, but cut off now by Afu. He leaves no juice in the tank. So they've got a chance now to square things up here on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard. Couple more left up their sleeve. Comes back away now to trail. Now he's lost the footy cold here. Right in front of the post. So a few anxious moments early on here in the round 3 clash from both of these schools, who are huge nurseries in the game of rugby league. Of course, what incredible history both schools have represented over nearly 45 years of NRL schoolboy football. Produced big names that have gone on in the game of the NRL. As Westfields now approach their own 20-metre line. As I mentioned, Talangi has also been included in the Australian Schoolboys side. Congratulations to Talangi. And also Tuivati, selected in the green and gold. We see a penalty here going against the run of play here. So Endeavour's captain in Dylan Fraser, as I mentioned, he's very creative, very dangerous around the ruck, very sharp. He's just saying, boys, let's take the tap and come forward. So give him back to trail. Always gets the job done. So there's Fraser again. Anoka switching it. Afu always gives 100%. 17-year-old in great form. Hikilla now. Well, he's just the strong worker, isn't he? Never stops. So back away again from Fraser. On it comes the trail. Perryman. Here's Stewart. They're up quickly on him, and they have to. Knocked him down there was Galvin. Back away from Perryman. Fraser. Good tackle there on trail. Lined him up, and they went bang. Bounces straight back up, though. It's the last tackle here. Here's Perryman. Kick and chase into the in-goal area. Let's just keep an eye on the footy. But Luke Lalili sees this go over the dead ball line as we come back out to the 20-metre tap. As I mentioned, Luke Lalili also played in the Harold Matthews grand final. He went head-to-head against his opposite number one today in Stewart from Endeavour. What a battle that was. Of course, Lalili, he's been in blockbusting form from the back. He's good on his feet. It's just a genuine live wire. Loves to get up and create great chat. Here's Talangi. Sending it straight down here to Stewart. The big palm. And Alameddine says, you're not going to get past me. Cop that. Back away now to Langer. He's dropped down across field, 10 metres away from the line. So as you can expect, coming here today and listening wherever you are, right across Australia, the two huge NRL nurseries going head-to-head here today. Does it come much better than this? Glorious day of football as we see Westfields leading by 6 points to 0 on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard as Stewart says, boys, let's try and play it up the other end of the field. As Craig, the ball was drifting away from the winger. He's a great finisher in the game of rugby league. He's scored many a tries coming through junior representative football. Give him back away this time now to Leotaga. And Jeremiah's taken down right on the 30. With Peter Jolly in the commentary box as we see now Galvin tries to sprint to the left. Here's Mapasua, the big palm, the big fan. He's brought down here by Stewart. So opportunity again now for Westfields. They're on the attack. Back away from Galvin. It was short, it was sharp. Here's Sakuru. Can he go all the way? He's brought down on the last tackle. Now they're looking around from dummy half. Here's De Silva. He flies it away. Talangi kicks, they chase. Can they get there? Yes, they can. Beautiful stuff. The kick was sensational. The chase was exceptional. And the try was the second one. Now we're just going to have a listen here to the touch judge. He hasn't given it yet. He's just trying to see if he was onside here. Now, I don't know if they're going to give it here, folks. What's happening here? He's going to give a penalty. Well, there you go. No try. So the touch judge has said that he was offside from the kick. So credit there to Matthew Galvin. An exceptional pair of eyesight from our touch judge here. He has denied Westfields their second try of the contest. And he was right in line with it, the touchy. So what a relief for Endeavour Sports High. They take the tap here now. This is Langer. He's lost the football. On tackle number one, Aaron Langer has just had the fumbles here. As we see their own discretion now. They're just wondering where they're going to put the scrum down. And that, of course, is in the middle of the field, 20 metres out. So they've got attacking options left and right. They've got Alameddine here on the left edge, but the ball comes back away, of course, to Endeavour. And Alameddine has to take the tackle here on on Stewart. He's trying to get away past the 20. Comes to the 30. And who is there? It's Lalili. Now they scamper from dummy half. Here's Fraser. As I mentioned, very creative. Dynamic around the ruck. Very sharp. His trail. Good strong carry by the lock forward. They pass the 40 now with vigour. Hickiller. He never stops. Taken down just outside the 30. Coming short. They want the ball to go to Stewart. Well, that was the idea, but it's going to be play on. What a hit. Right on the 20-metre line. So looking to work their way back into the contest here. Here's Trail. Second touch for him. Taken down 20 metres away. So Fraser again. Perryman. Here's Beckett. He's got very explosive power off the mark when he gets going. Here's Clements. Great leg speed for a prop. Taken down, back away from Fraser. Here's Anoka. Dangerous. Stewart floats it. Here's Bento. He'll get there. He's got there. The crowd goes up. That's a try to Endeavour. They're back on the scoreboard. 6-4 with a kick to come. Well, that was just beautiful ball movement, wasn't it, folks? Wherever you are watching our live stream this morning and this afternoon. Luca Bento, a real attacking threat out there on the left edge. We know that he's had genuine speed all year, but speed that can destroy out wide. And that's what happened right over there in the eastern corner. So they've been able to claw their way back into the contest here. That's their first try here in round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup. Well done to Endeavour, but it was just great hindsight, wasn't it, there from Hanoka. The 5'8", of course. He's just going after the ball all day long, as you'd expect, and players just enjoy running off him, and all of a sudden, that beautiful cutout ball finishing off with a 4-pointer. So here's the kicking duties now for Stewart. 18 metres out, 3 or 4 metres in from the touch line. As I mentioned, very calm conditions here in Hitchinbrook. Looking to bring this one back around and just to the left-hand side of the post. So no change here on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard. 12 minutes gone. It is Westfields in pursuit. They lead by 6 points to 4 as we approach the 15th minute of footy here. So one try apiece. Only the kicking duties separating both of these huge NRL nurseries. Going head-to-head here today. The home of the Mounties. Coming from Albury Quiche Reserve, and we've had plenty of rain in the last week here in Sydney, but the ground holding up exceptionally well as Endeavour coming back now through Afo. Here's Fraser. As I say, always sniffing around, trying to go for a burrow from dummy half. They've lost the football. They've turned it over. And Lalili has got the footy. So Kit will play it. He'll kick it, gets off him. Tuavati now, 17 years of age. Congratulations. He'll be about to wear the green and gold at the end of the year. Here's Galvin out the back door. They're keeping it alive. They go for the line. Alameddine. He sees the try line in front of him. He gets down low. And there's a try for Westfields as Mohammed Alameddine, the powerful winger out here on the left edge. He knew what was required, got the footy, and nobody was going to stop him from close range. And he picks up the second try for Westfields in the opening 18th minute of this clash. And what a moment now for the try scorer, looking to convert his own try. Well, he was able to bang it over from a similar position after the first try here this afternoon. As I mentioned, he's in tremendous form with the boot. Nothing phases the teenager. Does a lot of work at training, I'm led to believe. Having a chat throughout the week with their coach in Troy Whedon, who is also a part of the Raiders recruitment staff. So Alameddine from the sideline. A hush goes around the field. And not a bad crowd in here today. I'd say up over 1,000 people. Schools are here in full support. Alameddine, can he convert his own try? It looks okay. He's got it. When you're on, you're on. 2 from 2. He is on fire. Alameddine. He's picked up 8 points, 8 individual points to his own name. Is it fair to say it's Alameddine taking on Endeavour Sports High single-handedly? So we're back underway. This is the dailytelegraph.com.au as we see now Clement winding himself up from the back fence. Here's Beckett now. Taken across field here by Sakuru and Kitla Lilly. Now they look to put the foot to the accelerator. This is Perryman standing in the tackle. Fraser's done well. Shrugged off Sakuru and takes his side down towards the 30-metre line. Now they're going to take the tap here and get things going. So Galvin switches it across the field again. They're looking attacking threat. Here's that pass that floated forward. But on this occasion, it's been called back here by Matthew Galvin. Our man with the whistle. Forward pass, which is denied Will Craig any opportunity to put his name up in lights here in round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup. So it's been good footy. We've seen a bit of everything, haven't we? Big hits. Individual tries have been absolutely tremendous. Just what you'd expect here in the NRL Schoolboys Cup. As we see now, Fraser, hasn't he been solid from the number 9 spot? Just like this fella in Stewart. Here he goes again, Fraser. Well, he's taking them on single-handedly up towards the 40. Westfields get on side with the referee as they look to attack again now through Bento. He's down the sideline. Lilly's coming after him. He steps, he weaves, he offloads it. Back to Stewart. He scores. What a fantastic try. Endeavour, they're back, and they're back with a bang. Well, there you go. If you get a replay of that on the Daily Telegraph throughout the week, that was absolutely brilliant work from the beginning to the end. Ah, how impressive was that? One of the highlights of round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup. That was absolutely gold in the end. Endeavour Sports High. Wow. What do you say? As we mentioned, Bento. Oh, what a real attacking weapon. And now we know why they call him the Speed Machine. The Speed Destroyer. here at Albury Quiche Reserve, and he's only 17 years of age. How mature is he? They tell me that he's on and off the field a real mature head on young shoulders, with just over 7 minutes remaining here in the first half of footy. So Stewart, he's brought this one back from his last one to be about 24 metres out. A couple of metres in from touch. Over there on the opposite side to our commentary box. This one, a lot of hanging time, but just to the left-hand side of the post. So unsuccessful with the conversions. He's so far today for Stewart. As we've got about 6 minutes remaining. Westfields now leading by 12 points to 8. Here on our Daily Telegraph scoreboard. And it's great to have the Daily Telegraph a part of NRL schoolboy action. We've been broadcasting now for 3 years in conjunction with the NRL. Your one-stop shop for all your rugby league needs in 2022 is the Daily Telegraph. That's Dixon. Didn't want to get a play the ball away quickly. He wasn't allowed to there by De Silva. He's had a game, hasn't he? He's had quite the game. The number 9 for Westfields. Now they've lost the footy. So there has been a few errors in the game, but that is testament to both of these sides as attacking flair. They love to throw it around, have a bit of fun in the sun, don't they? Definitely plenty of attacking prowesses through both back lines. Of course, Endeavour come into this clash, averaging 28 points a game, as we see now Westfield put the foot down. Here's Galvin. They're not going to stop the dynamic number 7. And Lachlan Galvin. Oh, he's a smart footballer. Plenty of time on his hands. A great reader of defence. Pace the burn. And non-negotiable into open flight. The number 7. Well done, Lachlan Galvin. There he is on screen now, coming back into the pack. As Endeavour Sports High, well, they're just having a bit of a committee meeting behind the goalpost. But what about the number 7, Lachlan Galvin? Identified the need to take them on. The big dummy at the line. The show, the go. He put the foot to the accelerator and nobody was going to stop him. And what a combination he's having outside of the number 6 in Blaze Talangi. The 6 and the 7 in block-busting form for Westfields. As I mentioned, Talangi, he's off to represent the Australian Schoolboys. We wish him all the best, along with Sam Tuavati. Of course, Sam's only 17 years of age as well. They call him the whispering talent, the quiet achiever, but deemed for big things in the game of rugby league. Here's Alamadine now. Brought this one in about 5 metres. This is probably his easiest kick of the day. They haven't made it any easier for him, have they? He's trying to hook this one back around, but Alamadine pulls this one to the left. So no change on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard. It's Westfield Sports 16, Endeavour Sports 8. with just over 2 minutes remaining in the first half of round 3 footy, thanks to the Peter Mulholland Cup. So we're back underway here on the Daily Telegraph website. Don't forget, folks, you'll be able to watch all the semi-final football of the Peter Mulholland Cup in the weeks ahead, right here at thedailytelegraph.com.au. As I said, it's our third year of broadcasting Schoolboys football, and it's been an absolute joy. Many generations have been brought up with this, and it's just going strength to strength, as you can see here with every pass and every run. Here's Sukuru taken down right on the 30, back away now to the number 6, and that is Talangi. As I mentioned, off to represent the green and golds. It's the last tackle now. What's their option now? They're going to step, they're going to run. Talangi offloads the ball, and De Silva, he's next to the post. Wow, Westfields, when they're on, and they're on here today, here in Hitchinbrook. Well, that was that man again. Talangi looking around. Gee, isn't his one of his assets is his running game. His passing game's absolutely exceptional. The siren goes in the background. So have the chance now to convert the try with the siren gone. That's right, folks. Westfield Sports leading by 20-8 over Endeavour. And the coaching staff, of course, congratulations to Westfield's coaching staff, and indeed to every coaching staff. It hasn't been easy, again, with all the wet weather, and training facilities, of course, have been hard to come by. When I say that, it's always hard to find a dry track to have a run and get your combinations right, but well done to Troy Whedon. He's also a member of the Canberra Raiders NRL recruitment staff, and his trainers out there today, Jacob Alexander and Ovington and Luke Vella, steering this side towards a possible berth in the 2022 semi-final series. The kick, it's a ripper. Another 2 points on top now to our Daily Telegraph scoreboard. So at halftime, folks, as we go to a break, it is Westfield Sports leading Endeavour by 22 points to 8. We'll take a break and we will be back for more round 3 action. You're live. We're exclusive this afternoon here in the NRL Schoolboys Cup. This is the Peter Mulholland Cup of 2022. We'll be back with more right after the break. Great to have your company on the dailytelegraph.com.au website. We are back, folks, for the second half of footy. It's round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup, and this afternoon we are here at Albury Quiche Reserve here in Hitchinbrook. And if you just clicked onto our live stream this afternoon, it is Westfield Sports High in control by 22 points to 8. What a first half of football by the entire team. But if you want to, individually pick a few out, Luke Lalili, the fullback, has had a very strong game. He's been in blockbusting form coming into this clash. But what about the personal tally this afternoon of Mohammed Alamuddin? He has picked up 8 individual points out of the 22 points that are so far on offer here for Westfield Sports High. So Westfield Sports High, they've made their way back out onto the field. We just stand by now for their opposition in Endeavour Sports High. They're about to come out of the race now and onto the field. Our referee is out there in Matthew Galvin. He's had to make a few tough calls in the first half, but a general census, he got them right. It was a floating forward pass which was going to result in Westfield getting a try. So we're almost set to go. The second half here in round 3 is underway, and it's a short one too, with a lot of hanging time, and Westfields will more than likely come away with it here. Leotarga does exceptionally well. Here's Minnow now. Very decisive. De Silva comes short. Leotarga, he takes them on. Taken down here by Emery. So it's back away through the middle. Leotarga goes short. Back to Finau. He'll be hard to stop. And Finau, he crosses again for Westfields. Well, he's been around in NRL schoolboys football for 2 or 3 years now. Dynamic player. We know that he's a great defender. But when he's short of the line, like he was there by a couple of metres, he was just too powerful, too strong, and too good. Very strong, number 12, isn't he? 98 kilos. Great work ethic. Just a big, strong body. Still a developing forward. Just got great leg speed. Plays solid minutes. Superb running game. And just a great finisher. Great carrier. He can whack in defence. He's one of those forwards that brings in, 3 or 4 in the tackle, but he still has that offload ability in him. Great all-rounder. Here's Alameddine. Bringing this one off the post. Can he? No. Hits the post, and it results in no conversion. So we've only had 3 minutes of the second half here, and Westfield Sports, with the first try, they're up by 26 points to 8 over Endeavour. So we're back underway now, as we see now Stewart. He's on his way to represent the green and gold. We wish him well, the 17-year-old. And what a battle that's been today. The two number ones coming together in Stewart and Lalili. Both met in the Harold Matthews Grand Final in the New South Wales Rugby League competition. Here's the first penalty. They're going to take the tap here, Westfields, and try and keep them napping. Here's De Silva. Great ball. Back to Lalili. Taken down here just outside the 10. De Silva. When they're on, they're on. Here's Talangi. Great ball. Here's Craig. There's another one for Westfields. Will Craig touches down in the corner. Well, they've had 2 plays at them since the get-go here of the second half. And Endeavour, they just couldn't quite spread across their goal line, could they? And deny Will Craig their second try of the second half. A great finisher in our NRL Schoolboys Cup is Will Craig. And they've striked 30 to 8. Thanks to the Daily Telegraph. But again, De Silva. Wow. What a blinder he is having. Very quick around the dummy half. Plays solid minutes. Keeps the defence guessing. Just a great work ethic for a 17-year-old. And here is now Mohamed Alameddine. As I mentioned, picked up 8 individual points here in round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup so far this afternoon. As we count down to semi-final football. Not far away. Next month, of course, that all starts. Finals football. And then, of course, grand final day of 2022. It's back. The NRL Schoolboys Cup in all its blazing glory. So, Alameddine. What a bird's eye view of this one, folks. Our pictures will tell the story. Has he got the distance? It's hit the crossbar and it's gone over. Well, when you're on, you're on. Alameddine has picked up 10 individual points and he's having an absolute wow of a game. The powerful winger. Picked up a couple of tries, banged home more than a couple of goals. Having a great time out here in Hitchinbrook. So we're back underway for the recommencement of play. This time straight and hard there into Afu. Olawapu. The strongest out there. Built low to the ground, but as tough as teak. Here's to Silva. He comes down to Stewart. It's off the toe there of Craig. They put it into the in-goal area. Somebody's got to go after it, and it's gone back over the dead ball line. So we come back out now for a tap restart, 20 metres out from the Endeavour line. Well, they're giving them, aren't they? I refer to Westfields, a run around the park here this afternoon in glorious conditions for Schoolboys football. And look at this defence here from Westfields, hitting in numbers. Not ones, not twos, but take a look at that. Threes. There's Waka in there along with Talangi. Now going down low is Talon de Silva. Love to know his work rate and his defence. Making many tackles in the middle for Westfields. Here's Fraser. Flung down by Olawapu. Just short of the 40. Look for the kick. Perryman decides to go low into the waiting boots of Lalili. Taken down there by Beckett. Here's Craig. Picked up a try for Westfields. Knows his way to the try line. Good, strong, flat pass. Here's Mapasoa. He takes on Stewart. He's still going. He's going to get there. Another try to Westfields. Well, they've gone bang, bang. And big Mapasoa, he does the rest. What a powerful running centre. We know he can whack in defence. But that's what was required there for Endeavour, to whack him into the ground, but they just couldn't put the big frame down, could they? Like a towering ball. Whacking players off the attack, off the defence as he was approaching that goal line with vigour. And he's got over again. And that's the third try for Westfields in the second half of footy. And it's pretty much silenced the travelling army from Endeavour. They're up by 36-8 on our Daily Telegraph scoreboard. What a demolition. Troy Whedon, of course, he'll be very, very pleased, won't he, with what his troops have been able to produce. Of course, on the staff of the West Tigers. Came up from the Canberra Raiders. Here's the conversion. Got a bit of hanging time, looking to bring it back around, but just to the right-hand side of the post. So no change here on our Daily Telegraph scoreboard. With just over 9 minutes gone in the second half. Westfields out by 36-8. 28-point margin here. And don't forget, it's a big week of NRL Schoolboys football on the Daily Telegraph website as we launch round 3 of the Peter Mulholland Cup. What a towering run. Now, the running game, it's enterprising. It's absolutely fantastic. Back again now. Here is Galvin. He's stepping. Now, back to the bulldozer. Oluwapo. Well, they've come 80 metres here, and they're on the attack again. Alameddine. He wants his lights. He nearly got it. He's a metre away from the goal line. They're looking around. They find Talangi. Great ball. La Lily. Here's another one. This time, Daniel Wacker. He crosses. Oh, it's a carve up here. Westfields, they are on fire. Well, let's just have a look at that in hindsight. They've scored 3 tries in pretty much 5 minutes of football, and they've scored 3 tries in their last 3 times that they've had the footy in hand. So every time they've had the football on the last 3 plays, they've gone bang, bang, bang. And this time, Daniel Wacker, the classy centre. He's just a natural, classy centre. He's got a great offload in him as well. The teenager with the biggest heart. Players just love to be around him. And he's always supporting his teammates. And now here he is again, looking to make 12 individual points. Mohamed Alameddine. One thing is for sure, they haven't made his goal kicks any easier as this game has gone on. The tries have come pretty much in the corners this afternoon for Westfields. And plenty of tries, as was observed. That's right, don't adjust your sets. 40 points to 8. Here in Hitchinbrook as Alameddine. Again, the crowd behind him. Hush as Alameddine comes in. Has he learnt from the second one? Oh, he's just pushed to the left-hand side of the post. But when you're up by a margin of 40 to 8, I think we can forgive him with that one pushed to the left-hand side of the post. There he is there, Alameddine. Just going back across the halfway line into his position there on the 40-metre line. First line of attack for the recommencement of play. So Stewart sends it deep. Walker, the try scorer, dishes it up here to Minnow. As I mentioned, the toiler of the pack leaves no juice in the tank. Here's Oluwapo. Good run by Ricardo. Here he is again, drawing in 3 and 4 defenders. And they finally put him into the turf. Here's Pukala. Just on the halfway line, quick go forward to Silva, dangerous, offloads. Here's another one coming maybe. Here's Talangi, he kicks, the bounce is going to be unbelievably awkward for Westfields. Well, poor old Galvin. The bounce of the football denied him another try. He tried to get it back into his possession, but it bounced over his head. And the rest, as they say in the classics, is probably history, and it is history. But geez, what about Talangi combining there with Lachlan Galvin? Just couldn't quite pull the rabbit out of the hat on that occasion, but they went close, didn't they? As we see now, Fraser, he decides to bang this into touch. Finds the line, 40 metres away from his own goal line here, as we see Endeavour about to take the tap. Now, Stewart wants the football, but he's not going to get it. The Australian schoolboy who was picked only a few weeks ago to go on to represent the green and gold. Of course, he had a brilliant number 1 in the game with the Harold Matthews earlier this year when he went head-to-head with Lily. What a grand final that was on New South Wales Rugby League TV. They're looking around here now for Hodges. So Aiden will play it. A couple of metres inside the Westfields territory. Here's Afu. He's on the last. Fraser distributes it. Emery, well, he thumps it. And Lalili. He's been in blockbusting form from the back. Good offload. Here he is again offloading the footy. And Lalili, his brother, combining on that occasion. Let's not forget, Lalili, the number 8, is the captain, and Luke plays fullback. So the Lalili brothers in fine form. Referee here in Matthew Galvin just telling Luke Lalili to go away and play the football, as we see a good short ball on the line here to Sakuru. He wants a quick play the ball. He doesn't get it. He's got a penalty. He takes the tap. Referee thought for a moment he was going to say play on, but Galvin calls it back here to the halfway line, just holding down for a little bit too longer than Matthew Galvin, our referee, would have liked. So here's Lachlan Galvin. This time deciding to thump this well into touch. Finds the line 30 metres away from the Endeavour Sports High. So they're about to take the tap. Are we about to see another try? Here's to Avati. He's off to represent Australia again, the 17-year-old. Here's Talangi. He was looking around here for Oluwapu. De Silva goes short. Here's another chance if they can offload it to their number 17 here in Yagi, but they can't. They go the other way. Here's Walker. He goes short. Here's Finau. So back to De Silva. Short ball. Minnow. He's close. He's right on the line. Opportunity here for Westfields. Here's Galvin. They've got to score. You can put the house on it. There's a try. Mapasoa. He picks up his second try. The crowd is up. They're on their way to the semi-finals, possibly. I'll tell you what, their attacking record, it's going up with every try here. What is it now? 40-8? On the Daily Telegraph scoreboard, that's going to help their cause as they head into the back part of the Peter Mulholland Cup here. Semi-final football not far away. We can add an extra few points onto the Daily Telegraph scoreboard now, folks. 44-8. And Roy Mapasoa. Well, get your highlight pen out and put your diary to the front page if you've got one and put his name down. Mapasoa. What a great carrier of the football. Just powerful. Great finisher. And haven't we seen his running game here today? Just play solid minutes. We've seen a bit of everything today in the repertoire of Mapasoa. Strong fan, great defender. Just a great work ethic. Still developing in the game of rugby league as a 17-year-old. The boy with the biggest heart. And as we've seen, when he's in the clear, it is lock the gates. Just a great finisher. Here's the kick. Just to the left-hand side of the goalpost. So no change to the Daily Telegraph scoreboard, folks. We've had 49 minutes of the clash. Just under 10 minutes remaining. And Westfield out by 44 points to 8. As I said, the two NRL nurseries here today going head-to-head, but I will mention, though, and take nothing away from Westfield's clinical display. They've been absolutely perfect in nearly every part of their rugby league execution today. But Endeavour, I was speaking to their coach in Dave Howlett, and he mentioned that there is 4 or 5 that have succumbed to injury since round 1, round 2 of the competition. So they are a depleted side. And a few of their playmakers that ended up going around in round 1 and round 2 are out for the season with facial injuries and cheekbone reconstruction. So they've had a bit of a rough trot in the last couple of weeks, especially Endeavour. But Westfields, with the goal line dropout, allowing plenty of hanging time as Perryman comes onto the footy. Here's Hodges. Hit killer. Driven back towards his own 30-metre line. So Stewart, they go away from him, finding Perryman. Here's Afu. Here's Fraser. This is Christie. So Westfield back on their own goal line here. The ball's on the feet. Here is Stewart. He's lost the footy. Tackle over the top. There was Kai Beckett. They come off their own 30-metre line here. Now that ball's gone behind Sakuru. And now they've gone into touch. Well, that was a little bit of freakish Peter Mulholland Cup there in the last few seconds of that play. Ball's on the ground, of course, and Endeavour had a chance. But the touch judge spoilt the fun, putting his bright yellow fluoro flag up on that occasion. But he's had a good game, our referee, in Matthew Galvin. As I mentioned, if you stayed with us from the top of the show, he's made some difficult calls, but calls that we believe have been very much right. He's only a youngster himself, and we wish Matthew Galvin all the best in his pursuit for the NRL and in the refereeing ranks. Where would we be without our referees in sport? As we've seen our Lalili, he slices them. He's inside the 40. He comes to Stewart. He's got support. Back to Galvin. Galvin's under the post. It's the Galvin show today. Galvin and Alameddine and Talangi. There's your top 4. But it's been a solid all-round performance by Westfields, but they've been instrumental, haven't they? So we can add another 4 points to the total now. Can you believe it's now 48-8 on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard? Well, there's a chance now, folks. If the kick is a good one, they're going to notch 50. A half a century in schoolboy football. And Westfields, just checking our ever-reliable Daily Telegraph statistic board. What's that? 5 tries in the second half. It's quite a good little gadget we have. We also have the Daily Telegraph weather wall here, sitting on 17 degrees. It's quite a good little device, very trusty device. It's 4 little 4A batteries, and it does its job. Wind is very calm. Here's the kick now from right in front. This to make 50. It's a beauty. Straight over the dot. 50 points to 8 on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard in a big week of Peter Mulholland Cup, folks. Can you believe we're into round 3 of the competition already? Our cameraman here, he's saying he can't believe it. He's just giving me the nod. Can you believe it? We're into round 3 of the competition. The semi-finals are not far away, folks. And you'll be able to watch every hit, every bump, every tackle, and every try right here on the dailytelegraph.com.au website. In our 3rd year of broadcasting NRL Schoolboys, of course, over the last 40 years since the football's been going, of course, you've been able to watch it on Channel 9, on the wide world of sports for many years, up until the late 90s. And Fox Sports had it. And now in the live streaming department of the Daily Telegraph. So you're with Peter Jolly here at Hitchinbrook on a glorious afternoon for Peter Mulholland Cup. Weather-wise, that's for sure, and we've seen Westfield giving everybody a spectacle in the game of rugby league as far as attack goes today, and they've still got it. They're throwing it around. Here is Galvin again. He wanted his second, but the referee says, Galvin, unfortunately, I don't want to do this to you, Sonny, but we'll have to call this up. That was a forward pass, and Galvin's just looked around and said, yeah, no, that's okay, that's fine, not a problem. Bit of tongue-in-cheek there to Endeavour, of course. He's just told them. He's just reminded the opposition, actually, that the score's 50-8. They're like, fair enough. You've just outplayed us today. But we'll meet again. We'll square you both up. And that's what NRL Schoolboys about. You might win by 50 one week, but then the next time you meet, it's game on. One thing is for sure. Both sides have very long memories. The two NRL nurseries in the heartland, out here in Western Sydney. Superb, just producing brilliant athletics pretty much each time they come out here. I mean, you know, you just got to look at the side here today for Westfields. You just got to go through them. You know, they've got two Australian schoolboys about to do absolute wonders for the game of rugby league, and we wish Talangi and Tuavati all the best. You know, they call Tuavati, the 17-year-old, the whispering talent, the whispering giant. He leaves all his talking for on the field, but off the playing field. Just one of nature's finest young guys coming through the ranks. Doesn't matter who you meet, they'll tell you the same thing. Very quietly spoken, but the dream is coming to reality. The Australian Schoolboys jersey. Well done to Talangi and to Tuavati. Here's a chance for Alameddine. He puts on the afterburners. The smoke is still over there in that corner. We'll have to get the fire extinguisher. We've got the Bunnings horn downstairs, but we might have to get the Bunnings fire extinguisher from here, from the floor manager. The smoke is in our path. They're just blowing it away here, but that was unbelievable. And that's Alameddine's individual performance. Sensational. 14 points he's come up with today. Mohamed Alameddine. He's been in the thick of everything. He knows how to finish him off in the corner. Just a powerful winger. As I said, pretty much from the get-go, he's a destroying winger, isn't he? An attacking weapon out there on the left edge. Just knows when to get involved and when not to get involved. And young shoulders on a very mature head. Here's the kick from the touchline, just to the right-hand side of the post. So no change here on the Daily Telegraph scoreboard, folks. With just over a couple of minutes remaining, it's Westfields leading by 54 points to 8. As we look to get back underway, and don't forget, folks, as I mentioned before, the semi-finals, they're coming up next month. So you'll be able to read all the backstories about your players representing your school in 2022. Online at thedailytelegraph.com.au. Just go into the search bar and type in live streaming or rugby league, not just schoolboys football. All your NRL news as well, with the best print journalists in the game of rugby league at the Daily Telegraph, doing an almighty job. News Limited. If it wasn't for News Limited, we probably wouldn't have this live streaming coverage. So they're investing in live streaming, And today, folks, Westfields, they're on their way to their next clash in a few weeks' time. But what a dominant victory here today in Hitchinbrook over Endeavour Sports. Full-time, Westfields 54, Endeavour 8.